Have you ever noticed how some elderly people seem well-groomed, and yet there's a strange smell that lingers, even after a shower? You walk into the room. It's clean, cozy, everything looks neat. The person is well taken care of. But there's this faint, odd scent in the air that makes you want to turn away. It's not sweat, and it's not just old age. The culprit is a compound most people have never heard of, nonanol, and the key to removing it lies in washing one specific area the right way. As we age, our skin changes. Fatty acids start to build up in the body, and a unique compound forms, nonanol. That's what causes the persistent odor that's hard to get rid of. Washing more often doesn't help. The smell remains. The person may feel embarrassed, withdraw socially, and become isolated. It takes a toll on self-esteem and overall mood. The good news is, there's a simple solution. You don't need expensive products. All it takes is knowing where and how to clean properly. Rate how helpful this video was in the comments from 1 to 10. And don't forget to subscribe so we can grow this community. Many people assume that if someone has body odor, they're just sweating too much or not taking care of their hygiene. So the most obvious solution is to shower more, buy deodorants, and use scented body washes and lotions. But here's the strange part. You do all that, and the smell is still there. Picture this. It's morning. You, or maybe a loved one, are in the shower. Warm water, soft towel, the usual routine. Clean clothes, fresh underwear, scented soap, even a nice lotion. An hour passes, and the smell is back. That same faint but persistent odor. It clings to collars, settles into pillowcases, and just won't go away. The problem is, deodorant and showers don't work. Why? Because it's not about sweat. The odor we're talking about doesn't come from perspiration. It comes from deep within the skin, from a substance you can't just cover up with perfume. It's not a matter of hygiene, it's a matter of biochemistry. As we get older, the skin naturally changes. Cell turnover slows down, and the sebaceous glands don't function as efficiently. Fatty acids oxidize and produce a compound called nonanol. It clings stubbornly to the skin, especially in areas with poor ventilation, behind the ears, at the base of the neck, and across the upper back. And regular soap and water? They hardly touch it. What's more, if we keep washing without knowing about nonanol, we might actually be drying out the skin even more. And dry skin? It only makes nonanol production worse. So what happens next? The person starts to feel self-conscious. They sense something's wrong, but can't figure out what. After all, they're clean, neat, well-groomed. They begin to withdraw, become quieter, avoid hugs, conversations, even simple errands like going to the store. Their confidence drops, and with it, their mood, their energy, their spark. It becomes a vicious cycle. The more they wash the wrong way, the stronger the odor, and the deeper the embarrassment. But the real issue comes down to just one compound, and one common mistake. We simply don't know where exactly we need to wash. Here's the good news. Once you understand the real cause of the smell, you can deal with it. Up next, we'll take a closer look at the compound itself, nonanol, the one behind that lingering, unpleasant scent. And you'll be surprised at how simple the solution can be. We already know, sweat isn't the issue. So what is this smell that won't go away, even when someone's doing everything right in terms of hygiene? The answer lies in a single compound that the body starts to produce after age 50. You won't hear about it in ads, and even many doctors aren't familiar with it. But this compound is the hidden reason behind that so-called old person smell, the one regular methods can't get rid of. It's called nonanol. Now picture the body of an older adult. On the outside, the skin might look the same, but underneath, subtle changes are happening. Sebaceous glands begin to function differently. The skin gets drier, and the fatty acids produced in the skin start to oxidize. That's when the non-enal molecule forms. It's invisible, colorless, but its scent is strong and very distinct. If you could see it under a microscope, it might look like a sticky droplet, clinging to the skin and fabric, stubborn and hard to remove. It settles especially in areas with poor airflow, less friction, and less thorough cleaning, behind the ears, at the nape of the neck, and around the shoulder blades. Young people don't smell like this, because nonenal isn't present in their skin at all. It only starts to appear in people over 50 or 60, and even then, not all at once. That's why you may have never encountered it before. And now, suddenly, the smell is just there, out of nowhere. Regular soaps don't work. Perfume can't mask it. Laundry detergents don't stand a chance. And the most frustrating part? No one warns you about it. Not in ads, not on product labels. Nothing says, removes nonenal. What makes nonenal so tricky? It's formed through oxidation. It's sticky. It literally clings to the skin. And it's fat-soluble, not water-soluble, which means regular water won't wash it off. Worse yet, if you use harsh soaps, you dry out the skin even more. That triggers the sebaceous glands to produce more oils, and that means more nonenal. It's like trying to clean a window with a dirty rag. You think you're fixing the problem, but it just gets worse. Over time, the smell becomes constant. It sinks into pillows, collars, even into the hair. And the longer you go without properly addressing it, the harder it is to get rid of later. The result is something many people know all too well, but it's a painful misunderstanding. Am I not taking good care of myself? Do I smell like an old woman? That thought can be heartbreaking, especially for someone who's always been clean, polished, and well-groomed. Then the limitations start creeping in. You feel less like going outside. You hesitate to invite the grandkids over. What if they notice? You avoid hugging loved ones. You start to feel isolated, not because of age, but because of a smell that can be eliminated. And all of this just because no one ever explained what nonenal is or how to deal with it. But there's a simple, gentle, and effective solution. You'll be surprised at where exactly you need to wash in order to completely remove the odor. It's not about washing your whole body. It's not about deodorant or antiperspirant. There's just one area, often overlooked, that holds on to that invisible scent. Let's talk about this cleaning point, where it is, and how to care for it so you can feel fresh and free again. No matter how much we discuss nonenal, skin changes, or aging, it all comes down to one simple action. And that one action is what truly solves the problem. That's the real key to feeling clean and confident again. And no, it's not about expensive creams, medications, or strict diets. It's much simpler than that. So here's the question. Where exactly should you wash to get rid of the smell? Picture yourself standing in front of the mirror. You wash your hands, your face, your neck. Now imagine turning slightly to the side and touching the area just behind your ears, and a bit lower, the base of your neck closer to the upper back. This spot almost never gets cleaned thoroughly. It's hidden by hair, often covered by collars or scarves. We wash it on autopilot, quickly, just in passing, never really focusing on it. And yet, this is exactly where nonenal builds up. If you could smell individual molecules, you'd sense how the odor hides in that area. It's like a dark corner of the house where light never reaches. Dust builds up faster there. Same here. Warmth, natural oils, low friction, not much airflow. The perfect conditions for odor to settle and linger. Most people think body odor means you need to wash your armpits more often, but armpits aren't the main area where nonal builds up. The irony is, we focus on the spots that seem smelly, while the real cause lies elsewhere. That's why deodorants don't help. That's why the smell comes back, even after a shower, because we're not washing the right place. And if you don't know that, you could shower 5 times a day. The smell will still stick around. So where should you focus? Behind the ears, the back of the neck, the upper back, between the shoulder blades. Why these areas specifically? The skin is thicker here. Sweat and oil tend to accumulate in these spots. They don't get much air circulation, and when we wash them, we usually just swipe over quickly. Not enough to really clean them, but this is exactly where the sticky non-anal molecules settle. They literally cling to the skin, and if they're not properly washed off, they'll stay there and keep working all day. Here's how to wash correctly to actually remove the odor. 1. Use a soft cloth or wash mitt, something gentle like cotton, waffle weave, or a special cleansing fabric. No rough sponges. 2. Use warm water, not hot. Hot water dries the skin and makes the issue worse. 3. Choose a neutral soap, glycerin-based baby soap, or a mild unscented antibacterial soap. 4. Wash in gentle circular motions, behind the ears, under the hairline, along the neck, and across the upper back. 5. Spend at least 1.5 to 2 minutes. Take your time. Be thorough. That part is key. And within just 3 to 5 days of regular care like this, the smell either disappears completely or becomes barely noticeable. People start to feel different. They literally stand up straighter. This isn't just about hygiene. It's about reclaiming your sense of cleanliness and your self-respect. But it's not only the body that matters. The smell can become stronger when the skin doesn't breathe, or when clothing holds on to odor molecules. So in the next section, we'll talk about a few simple, but absolutely critical, things. What kind of clothes to wear, how often to wash pillowcases, and why synthetic fabrics can make the problem worse. By now, you know, the odor often associated with older people isn't caused by sweat. It's caused by non-anal. And you already know exactly where to wash to get rid of it. But to make the results complete and long-lasting, you have to go beyond the body. It's also about what surrounds you every day, your clothing, your fabrics, your bedding. Sometimes those things become the real storage space for odor, even after you've showered. Picture this. You wake up. Everything feels familiar. The bed, the pillow, your robe. You shower, you wash the right area, you put on fresh clothes. But somehow the smell is back. Why? Now imagine a different picture. Your pillowcase hasn't been changed in a week. Your clothes seem fresh, but they were washed on a quick cycle at 30 taktig, 86 kextigonthers. The fabric? Synthetic, and synthetic materials soak up smells like a sponge. So even though you did everything right, the background odor remains. Non-anal doesn't just stay on the skin. It gets absorbed into fabrics, especially synthetic ones, especially if things aren't washed often, or if they're dried indoors. The odor lingers in textiles and can come back even after a shower. That's why it's so important to create a clean, breathable environment. Your clothes and bedding are basically an extension of your skin. Here's what you need to know. Synthetic fabrics, like polyester and acrylic, don't breathe well, and they trap odor molecules. Low-temperature washing, under 40 degrees, 104 degrees, doesn't kill bacteria or remove non-anal properly. Infrequent fabric changes, especially pillowcases and collars, lead to odor buildup, even if your body is clean. Perfumes and air fresheners mask the smell, but don't eliminate the cause. In some cases, they actually make the scent mix worse. If you ignore the role of fabric, even the best skincare routine might not work. And that's when people start to think, maybe it's just age, nothing I can do. But it's not age. Sometimes it's just one unwashed pillowcase or one synthetic top that looks clean, but quietly holds on to the very thing you've already washed away. These may seem like small things, but it's these small things that create the atmosphere, one where you either feel fresh and confident or unsure and held back. To completely eliminate the odor, here's what really matters: clothing and bedding. Choose natural fabrics, cotton, linen, or viscose. They allow the skin to breathe. Avoid synthetics, even for just around the house clothes. If possible, air out your closets regularly. Laundry tips: wash at no less than 60 degrees Celsius, if the fabric allows. Add a teaspoon of baking soda or vinegar. It helps neutralize odors. Don't dry clothes in the bathroom, only in a well-ventilated space, pillowcases and bedding. Change every 2 to 3 days. Wash separately from towels. Once a month, use boiling wash or deep clean cycle. And one more thing. If the odor persists even with proper care, it might be a sign. Talk to your doctor. Sometimes odor is linked to metabolism, liver function, or digestion. It's not a reason to panic, but it is a reason to pay attention to your health. We've just gone through something that's rarely spoken about out loud. The unpleasant smell sometimes associated with older adults. It's not a life sentence, not just aging, and definitely not poor hygiene. It's simply biochemistry, understandable, and more importantly, manageable. The cause: non-anal. The solution: gentle, consistent care of specific areas, breathable fabrics, and a bit of attention to the small stuff. It might seem almost too simple, and that's exactly the point. That's where the power lies. You don't have to change your whole life. Just one new habit, one small area, one soft cloth. No extremes. Just calm, gentle care as an act of love toward yourself. Every one of us deserves to feel clean, free, and confident at any age. Try it, starting today. Tomorrow morning, don't just wash behind your ears in passing. Do it mindfully, with intention, with care. In 3 to 5 days, you'll notice the air feels lighter, and with it, your mood lifts too. Share this with someone you care about. Sometimes, a single piece of knowledge can free someone from years of embarrassment. Now picture this. You're heading to the store, visiting friends, seeing your grandkids. You're wearing your favorite sweater. Your skin is fresh. A light smile on your face. You're not thinking about odor. You're thinking about life. Exactly the way it should be. You are beautiful. Just be yourself and take care of yourself with love.